During a recent live broadcast, Mark Consuelos surprised viewers by opening up about a deeply personal chapter of his life, one that many people quietly experience but rarely talk about publicly. Speaking with honesty and calm reflection, Mark shared that there was a time when he felt overwhelmed by pressure, expectations, and the non-stop pace of daily life. Rather than dramatic revelations, Mark's words focused on self-awareness and growth. He explained how balancing career demands, family responsibilities, and public attention sometimes left him feeling emotionally drained. You don't always realize how much you're carrying until you slow down and listen to yourself, he noted during the conversation. What resonated most with viewers was Mark's emphasis on support and communication. He spoke about the importance of having trusted people to talk to and learning when to step back and reset. While he didn't go into private details, his message was clear. No one is immune to difficult moments, no matter how confident or successful they may appear. Fans quickly took to social media, praising his openness and courage. Many said his words made them feel seen and reminded them that it's okay to acknowledge challenges without shame. Others applauded him for using a public platform to normalize conversations about emotional well-being. By the end of the segment, Mark expressed gratitude for the support he's received over the years and encouraged viewers to check in with themselves and each other. The moment wasn't about headlines, it was about honesty, connection, and reminding people they're not alone. After the live segment, the conversation around Mark's words continued to grow online. Fans flooded social media with messages of encouragement, sharing their own experiences and expressing gratitude for his honesty. Many noted that seeing a public figure speak so candidly about challenges helped remove some of the stigma around mental health and emotional struggles. Colleagues and friends of Mark also chimed in, praising his openness and the vulnerability he displayed on live TV. Several shared that it takes real courage to speak publicly about feelings most people keep private, especially under the constant scrutiny of cameras and fans. Mark himself followed up after the broadcast with a short message thanking viewers for their support. He highlighted the importance of daily self-care routines, checking in with loved ones, and taking time for reflection, emphasizing that these small steps can make a significant difference in overall well-being. Psychologists and wellness experts commenting on the segment noted that moments like these, when public figures speak about personal struggles in a relatable way, can inspire positive change for many. Quote, "It normalizes the fact that everyone faces challenges, and it encourages people to seek help or talk about what they're going through," one expert shared. By the evening, hashtags inspired by Mark's message were trending, with fans sharing quotes from his live talk and personal stories about how they cope with stress and pressure. Many said his message reminded them that even when life feels overwhelming, reaching out for support and talking openly is a sign of strength, not weakness. Mark closed the conversation with a simple yet powerful reminder. Be kind to yourself, notice what you need, and don't be afraid to ask for help. For millions of viewers, that was a moment of connection, empathy, and
clips
hope.
from Mark's live segment went viral, with fans sharing their favorite quotes and moments across social media platforms. Many highlighted how relatable his words were, even for those who have never faced public scrutiny like him. Comments poured in from viewers, expressing relief that someone they admire publicly was willing to admit they face challenges too. Media outlets covered the story, praising Mark for using his platform to encourage open conversation. Several pieces focused on how celebrities speaking honestly about struggles can create a ripple effect, making it easier for everyday people to seek support or simply acknowledge their own feelings. Mark also shared that the experience of speaking openly on live TV gave him a sense of release and connection. He admitted that preparing for the segment wasn't easy, but the immediate response from viewers made it worth it. It's one thing to talk to friends or family, but sharing it in front of so many people, it was different, and the kindness I received in return was overwhelming, he said. Fans began sharing personal stories inspired by Mark's openness, stories of finding support, creating healthier routines, or reaching out to loved ones. Many used hashtags reflecting self-care, reflection, and resilience, creating an ongoing community discussion online. By the end of the week, the live segment wasn't just a headline, it became a conversation starter, a moment of collective empathy and understanding. Mark's willingness to speak openly reminded everyone that even in challenging times, reaching out and talking about it is a sign of strength, not vulnerability. The actor concluded in a short post-live reflection. Life isn't perfect. We all have moments we struggle with, but it's those moments that remind us we're human, and that connection is what keeps us going. Following the widespread reaction to his live segment, Mark Consuelos received an outpouring of support not only from fans but also from fellow actors, co-hosts, and industry friends. Many shared messages praising his courage and honesty, noting that it takes real strength to open up about personal challenges in front of millions. Mark used the momentum to continue the conversation in a thoughtful way. In an exclusive follow-up interview, he spoke about small daily habits that helped him manage pressure, from taking quiet walks and journaling to prioritizing time with family. He emphasized that these were not quick fixes, but steps that gradually helped him feel more balanced and centered. Viewers resonated strongly with this practical approach. Social media threads started trending with fans sharing their own coping strategies, inspired by Mark's example. Many said it encouraged them to take their mental health more seriously and to speak more openly with loved ones. Interestingly, the segment also sparked broader conversations in workplaces and schools, as people began sharing clips of Mark's talk to highlight the importance of emotional well-being and supportive communities. Mental health organizations praised the discussion for normalizing dialogue around stress and personal struggles in everyday life. Mark himself reflected on the experience in a later post. "I didn't expect to start a movement, I just wanted to speak honestly. But seeing so many people connect, share their experiences, and support each other has been incredible. It reminds me that none of us are truly alone." The story continued to make headlines, not for controversy, but for its positive impact, showing how one moment of openness can ripple through communities, spark empathy, and encourage meaningful conversation.
In the days following his live segment, Mark Consuelos continued to receive heartfelt messages from fans around the world. Many shared that his honesty inspired them to check in with friends, family, and even themselves, sparking conversations they had been avoiding for months or even years. Some admitted that seeing someone they admire talk openly about challenges made them feel less alone in their own struggles. Mark also took the opportunity to share small updates on how he's managing life's pressures in a healthy way. He highlighted routines like morning reflection, exercise, and creative outlets, explaining that consistency rather than perfection makes a difference. "It's about progress, not always having it all figured out," he told a news outlet. The ripple effect of his openness extended beyond fans. Co-stars, colleagues, and even other public figures began speaking about the importance of emotional well-being. Social media posts, articles, and podcasts discussed how celebrity honesty can normalize conversations about stress and emotional health, helping remove stigma for people of all ages. In a live Q&A session shortly after, Mark responded to fan questions with warmth and empathy. He encouraged viewers to be patient with themselves, to ask for support when needed, and to remember that growth often comes from facing challenges rather than avoiding them. His message was clear: vulnerability is not weakness, it's a form of strength. By the end of the week, the story had evolved into a broader movement of connection, empathy, and resilience.
Fans were not only inspired by Mark's honesty, but many also started sharing their own stories, creating a supportive online community. What began as a personal reflection on a live broadcast had grown into a reminder to millions. Acknowledging struggles and seeking connection is a powerful step toward well-being. Mark closed one of his final posts on the topic with a heartfelt note. "We all face challenges. What matters is that we don't face them alone. Take care of yourselves, reach out, and be kind to one another." As the conversation around Mark's live segment grew, media outlets and talk shows invited him to share more about his experience in a thoughtful, policy-safe way. On each appearance, Mark emphasized that everyone faces challenges, no matter their career, success, or public image. He urged viewers to treat themselves with kindness and to lean on their support networks when life feels overwhelming. Fans began creating heartfelt tributes online, videos, posts, and artwork inspired by Mark's openness. Many used the hashtags trending from his live segment to share personal stories about growth, reflection, and self-care. Parents spoke about showing the clips to their teens to start conversations about emotions, while others credited his words with encouraging them to check in with friends they hadn't spoken to in a long time. Behind the scenes, Mark also started taking part in private wellness initiatives, collaborating with organizations that promote emotional resilience and mental well-being. While he didn't discuss details publicly, he hinted that part of his goal was to make it easier for people to access support and guidance without stigma or fear of judgment. Social media continued buzzing as fans noted how relatable and grounded Mark appeared. He spoke about balance, honesty, and the small steps that make a big difference, keeping a journal, taking quiet time each day, and reaching out when needed. "It's about noticing yourself and your needs before life sweeps by," he told an online interview. By the second week after the live segment, the story wasn't just about Mark. It had become a movement of conversation, connection, and empathy. People from all walks of life were sharing how they cope, checking in with one another, and realizing that acknowledging challenges is a strength, not a weakness. Mark concluded one of his final appearances with a simple but powerful reminder. "We're all human, we all need support, and it's okay to ask for it. That's what makes us strong together."
Following his candid live discussion, Mark Consuelos noticed an unexpected but heartwarming shift. Fans weren't just commenting, they were actively sharing support with each other, inspired by his message. Online communities formed around his words, with people posting stories of overcoming challenges, practicing self-care, and connecting with loved ones. Mark began using social media to encourage these conversations, sharing short reflections and reminders that small, intentional actions can improve emotional well-being. He posted about simple routines, morning journaling, family dinners, mindful walks that helped him maintain balance during hectic days. These posts resonated widely, drawing thousands of comments from fans, thanking him for making wellness feel approachable and relatable. Media outlets continued covering the story, framing it not as a celebrity headline, but as a broader conversation about emotional health. Experts noted that when public figures like Mark openly discuss their personal experiences, it normalizes vulnerability and encourages viewers to prioritize their own well-being. Mark also took part in virtual panels and interviews focused on community support and resilience, emphasizing that everyone has moments of struggle, but no one has to face them alone. He encouraged fans to share resources, check in on friends, and practice kindness toward themselves. As his story continued to unfold, Mark's message became clear. Life isn't about perfection, but about acknowledging challenges, seeking support, and finding balance. His willingness to speak openly sparked a ripple effect of positivity, with fans around the world finding strength in his honesty and using it as motivation to face their own obstacles. In a final reflective post for the week, Mark shared, "Every day is an opportunity to notice ourselves and those around us. A little attention, care, and kindness can go a long way. We're stronger together, even when life feels tough."
As time passed, the impact of Mark's live discussion continued to ripple outward. Fans shared stories of how his openness had encouraged them to reach out to friends and family they hadn't spoken to in years, or to finally prioritize their own self-care routines. Many expressed that hearing someone they admired acknowledge challenges made them feel seen and understood. Mark himself reflected on the ongoing response. In a follow-up interview, he explained that speaking publicly about his personal struggles had been both humbling and enlightening. He noted that vulnerability isn't a sign of weakness, but a bridge to genuine connection. The response has reminded me that when we share honestly, it encourages others to do the same, and that creates community, he said. Mental health professionals also weighed in, highlighting how moments like this can normalize conversations about emotional well-being and reduce stigma. They praised Mark for showing that everyone, no matter their background or success, can face pressures and challenges, and that acknowledging them is an important step towards resilience. The story didn't stay confined to interviews and social media. Mark began supporting online campaigns focused on emotional wellness, encouraging fans to check in on one another and to seek help when needed. He shared simple strategies that helped him manage stress, like taking short walks, journaling, or setting aside time each day to reflect. By now, the narrative around Mark's live segment had evolved from a single heartfelt conversation into a movement of support, reflection, and awareness. His message was clear: challenges are part of life, but facing them with honesty and support makes us stronger. Mark ended one of his recent posts with a simple reminder: life isn't about being perfect, it's about noticing, connecting, and taking care of ourselves and each other. We're all in this together.